personnel and ladies and gentlemen all, it falls upon me to welcome you here to this Saturday afternoon protest on the Woodvale Road. Damp, dusky and miserable it may well be, smaller in number we may well be, but we are bigger and stronger than ever in our hearts. Our determination and resolve will not be broken. We will be here for as long as it takes, for it is in God that we trust. It gives me great pleasure this afternoon to introduce Mark Cosgrove, Councillor for the Ulster Unionist Party, who will address us on behalf of that party this afternoon. Thank you all.
No surrender.
This will be good, making a speech.
Still flying. Still flying.
Brothers, sisters, visiting guests, fellow unionists, it's a great pleasure to address you again this wet Saturday afternoon. It has been 7 short weeks since I last spoke from this platform here at Woodvale. And fellow unionists, I still passionately believe that because our cause is just, that working together we will prevail in our remaining objective of seeing the 3 lodges and 2 bands complete their journey back to Ligony Orange Hall that they set out upon 3.5 months ago on the 12th of July. The reason I am so positive of our success is that the consequences for the fully integrated society that we all want to see of a failure to be able to walk the 300 yards of the crumbling road in Ardoin shops is to suggest that the politics of segregation and sectarianisation are values with which the majority of Northern Ireland's citizens share. Fellow unionists, can I say that the values of sectarianisation and segregation are not our core British ones, and I'm also positive they are not values with which those who do not share our British identity subscribe. They are alien to us. The reason we are here and are resolute in our determination to see a fair and equitable resolution to this impasse is that for the sake of Northern Ireland, our children and our grandchildren, sectarianisation and segregation cannot win. A few weeks ago, after I spoke, the 3 lodges proposed the Woodvale Initiative. Fellow unionists, who could possibly feel offended by a dignified return parade by the lodges and bands on a quiet Saturday morning in October with the guarantee of immediate dialogue to agree the details of the 2014-12 a full 10 months in advance? And fellow unionists, it was with deep regret that our groundbreaking attempt to finally complete their 12th parade was dismissed within hours by those who supposedly represent our neighbours in nationalist Ardoin through both their elected and unelected representatives. Once again, yet another example in this summer of examples of Republican politicians and nationalist residents groups failing to grasp the hand of friendship when it was reached out to them by the unionists with which they share our great city of Belfast. And fellow unionists, it was also a cataclysmic example of a total lack of leadership. It doesn't matter how many times Jerry Kelly or Cara say on TV or on the radio that they speak for the people of Ardoin. Does anyone in this crowd here today seriously believe if there was a secret ballot of the residents of Woodvale, Ardoin and Glenbryn that there wouldn't have been a massive percentage saying that was fair, that was reasonable, let's get this year's 12th sorted, and all of you in positions of influence can get round the table to agree a solution going forward. Fellow unionists, by way of background for the comments that I'm going to make, I consider myself to be an extremely proud and principled centre ground unionist. I love Northern Ireland and her people regardless of colour, creed or political persuasion. I work for all my constituents Protestant, Catholic, Unionist, Nationalist, another. I don't care. I hate sectarianism, racism and fascism with every bone of my being. They are the antithesis of my British values. That's why I joined the Ulster Unionist Party many years ago. That's why I stood for election to effect positive change, and they always try to do the right thing for Northern Ireland. But I'll say this with that background. For those who say that the 2013 Legally Lodge's 12th of July parade is already over, I say simply this. Never, 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 never will we accept that a row of shops that people of every religion and political opinion and none have shopped in for generation is the exclusive cultural domain of one small section of our community to the exclusion of all others. And never will we accept that instead of reducing the barriers to cross-community cooperation, that in November 2013 we should actually be creating more barriers, more single identity areas, more no-go parts of our city for either Unionists or Nationalists. And never will we accept that in an integral part of our beloved United Kingdom, that 3 lodges and 2 bands are not allowed to walk down and up a main arterial route past a row of shops to get to and from their Orange Hall. All we ask is that our brethren and bands are allowed with dignity and respect to complete the final few minutes of their return 12th of July parade. Fellow Unionists, I don't think that's too much to ask of anyone. And another reason why it was particularly wrong of others not to fully embrace the Woodvale initiative is that the effective lack of stability created by the unbelievable determination in July to reward the previous year-on-year violence from so-called dissident Republicans and then disgracefully ban the Legally Lodges and bands from the 2-minute part of their route has had on community relations, police relations and on the local traders. Fellow Unionists, I'm sure we all want to see the Union flag flown again, proudly and in all its majesty and glory over the civic headquarters of our regional capital city. It was a disgraceful, politically motivated decision to remove it after more than 100 years of continuity. It also ignores the political reality that Belfast is the capital city of Northern Ireland, a regional capital of Northern Ireland, and that Northern Ireland is, whether others like it or not, an integral part of the United Kingdom.
Here, here.
The Belfast councillors who voted to take that flag down pay their tax to Her Majesty Revenue and Customs. Their constituents get their pensions and social security from Her Majesty's Government Department of Work and Pensions. And their communities, the length and breadth of this city, enjoy the benefits of the £10,000 million subvention that comes from being a member of this United Kingdom. Fellow Unionists, those politicians, fellow Unionists, if there was any real principle behind their decision to remove the Union flag on all bar a few days, they would then have moved to close the local schools, the hospitals and other services in their district electoral areas that are actually benefiting from the money that comes from the United Kingdom. So they have no respect for the flag of the United Kingdom in which they reside, but they have no problem benefiting from the billions that flow into Northern Ireland from their membership of that kingdom. None whatsoever. And fellow Unionists, those politicians in East Belfast and South Belfast that have previously persuaded people that they are small U Unionists will very soon have to knock the doors in those areas to account for their decisions and their actions. And just as democratically elected politicians, albeit acting outside their 2011 manifestos, is the reason it was removed, so the only way it can be reinstated is by the political will of the councillors or an agreed political solution through the Haas process. Very worryingly, fellow Unionists, despite what happened only 11 months ago, voter registration in Belfast and indeed throughout Northern Ireland is very dangerously low. I would use this platform to appeal to you all to make sure you're on the register and also to make sure your family and friends are fully registered, to ensure they are in a position to come out next May in their tens of thousands throughout Belfast to ensure there is an enhanced unionist representation, in the hope that never again can such a proposal gain a majority of councillors' votes. Fellow unionists, will come to a subject now which there has been massive Republican hypocrisy over, and I'll come to them in a second. I am positive that the overwhelming majority of the unionist community love their city and want businesses in Belfast to prosper. That's why I feel strongly there must be minimal disruption to our city centre during the key trading Christmas period. The traders and shoppers of Belfast should not be penalised for a decision over which they have no control, and surveys tell us the overwhelming majority of the citizens of Belfast disagreed with taking the flag down. And I would urge any groups holding events in the city centre in the run-up to Christmas to engage positively with traders, and I understand from chats today that that has already happened. Far too many people's livelihoods depend upon it, particularly our young people who dominate the retail employment sector. However, the people of Belfast and Northern Ireland will take no lectures from Republicans on this issue. For 30 years, your so-called comrades made Belfast city centre a no-go area for this city from people of all backgrounds. You destroyed our economy, inward investment, jobs, and tragically hope for a generation. And I'll tell you, my generation, no Odyssey Arena or Waterfront Hall for people of my generation. No Victoria Centre or Castle Court either. Bags searched in every shops, buses searched within the city centre, bomb alerts, actual bombs and security barriers. Not to mention, fellow unionists, 29 million stole from the city centre bank, and never even an apology made for any of it. So like so many things perpetrated on the people of this city and this province, it is simply airbrushed out of history. In conclusion, I would like again to focus on the final goal and objective that we have left from a campaign that we did never want, but that was thrust upon us 3.5 months ago. The current Trades Commissioner being replaced, and I am hopeful that more people from the unionist tradition will apply to provide some balance, which has been very sadly missing in the last few years. Of course, the flawed legislation that the Commission operates under also needs to be reviewed as we seek to create a situation where we have genuine civil and religious liberty for all. We reach out our hand in genuine and real friendship to those in the nationalist community who want to create a better Northern Ireland, to build community relations, to show mutual respect for their unionist neighbours, and we in turn, as always, offer the same. I urge them to put pressure on their political and community leaders to fully grasp the opportunities to see the 2013 12th grade finally return home, and then to go on and build a long and lasting sustainable framework for the next generation and beyond. The Ulster Unionist Party was created in 1905 to maintain, promote and sustain the Union. We have done so proudly through the Home Rule crisis, 2 world wars and 30 years of the Troubles. Northern Ireland is our baby. We conceived it, we nurtured it, safe and secure within the Union. The health and cultural well-being of our province is also vitally important to all of us gathered here today. We reject utterly the cultural apartheid that sees us gathered here at Woodvale this Saturday afternoon. Shared future talk and rhetoric from nationalists and Republicans without shared future actions are utterly meaningless. We seek no favours. This is crucial. We will never ask for permission to walk. We merely seek what is fair and what is just. That the brethren walk home in a manner befitting the finest traditions of Orangism and Unionism. For our part, we will never deny those rights to others, but we will demand them for ourselves. United we stand, divided we fall. Our cause is just. Together we will prevail. Thank you.